2024 was a great year for physical media, with a lot of movies receiving much-needed new 4K transfers and sweet limited editions. The Hitcher and Trick or Treat, for instance. And there were movies that had never made the jump from VHS to any other format, at least in the US, that finally made that jump, such as The Keep. But there's still so many movies that deserve this kind of treatment. So here's my wish list of movies that I hope get new physical releases this year. At the very top of that list, and this one should come as no surprise to anybody who is familiar with my channel, it's Fright Night Part 2. I love this movie with all my heart. I love the characters, I love the soundtrack, I love the makeup effects. It's sexy, it's cool, it's Julie Carmen as Regine. Oh my stars. I have pleaded with the physical media gods for years to deliver us a fancy new limited edition for Fright Night 2 with a 4K transfer, lots of new extras, some sweet packaging, the whole 9 yards. And I think that 2025 will be the year that it happens. I know that the movie's been close to getting a new physical release at least a couple of times, and then a lot of time and effort has been put into the process. So when it finally does happen, hopefully this year, I think it'll be worth the wait. Number 2 on my list, and this is another obvious one if you're familiar with my channel. It's more obscure than Fright Night 2, and it's not a great movie by any stretch of the imagination, but I still love it. Psycho Cop. I love this movie so much that I actually have a copy of the screenplay, signed by the Psycho Cop himself, Bobby Ray Schaefer. The sequel got a Blu-ray from Vinegar Syndrome a few years ago, and I know that this one was pretty close to getting its own new Blu-ray too, but something happened and it didn't happen. Hopefully this year is the year that Psycho Cop returns to the beat. Next up is a completely underrated and overlooked Stephen King adaptation that premiered on HBO back in 1997, The Night Flyer. This is such a creepy and atmospheric movie with a great performance from the late Miguel Ferrer. It got this old flipper case DVD release way back in the day. It's long out of print now and deserving of so much more. How about a box set? That's right, a box set containing several movies that deserve new physical releases. I'm talking about the Howling 4 through 7. Now, I love the Howling movies. I love all the Howling movies. Yes, even New Moon Rising. Sue me. A nice box set with newly produced extras and transfers for all of them would definitely get me howling. Hearing about how all these movies got made and hearing from the mysterious Clive Turner would be fascinating. Here's an 80s slasher that's been in exile for years. It was a staple of USA Up All Night, and it has that late 80s slasher aesthetic that I find simply irresistible. Cheerleader Camp. I was having a conversation with a gentleman who works for one of the boutique labels not long ago, and I asked him specifically about Cheerleader Camp. And if I recall correctly, the reason he said this movie has not had another physical release since this ancient DVD is because the rights holders just want too much to license it. It's too bad, because Cheerleader Camp is a fun slasher. It's also sort of a time capsule of an era in film history that will never be repeated. And the artwork? Nah. Next up is a sequel. Really in name only, but I'm sure it's one that's going to be on a lot of people's wish lists for a new physical release, and that's Hello Mary Lou, Prom Night 2. Whereas Prom Night was a straight-up murder mystery slasher, Prom Night 2 is a supernatural revenge slasher that is so good. And you know, why not drop a Prom Night collection with parts 3 and 4 on there as well? Kind of like what Vestron did for the Silent Night, Deadly Night sequels. Granted, I think Prom Night 2 is deserving of its own standalone release, but parts 3 and 4 are fun movies too. And if it takes all of them being bundled together to resurrect Prom Night 2 with a new transfer, some new extras, some cool packaging, then so be it. Or give Prom Night 2 a standalone and put parts 3 and 4 together in a double feature. And another double feature that desperately needs a new physical release: Jim Wynorski's Hard to Die and Sorority House Massacre. They're pretty much the same movies, only one takes place in a sorority house and the other takes place in a office building. Both are great sleazy fun, and both are currently trapped on long out of print ancient DVD releases. Another box set, Only this one has been heavily rumored to be on its way out this year. Nothing is confirmed just yet, but I'm pretty sure it's happening. I'm talking about A Nightmare on Elm Street 4K box set. It's so sad when you consider the kind of box sets that both Halloween and Friday the 13th received from Scream Factory. And this is what A Nightmare on Elm Street got. The DVD set, on the other hand, now this is nice. That is the kind of release the Nightmare series deserves on 4K. And when that day happens, take this thing out and use it for target practice. A couple more. These are both obvious ones though. Peter Jackson's Dead Alive, aka Brain Dead. Now it's been rumored for years that we were going to get a new 4K release for this movie, but it's still not happened. Dead Alive is so much fun, and it's one of the goriest movies ever made. A 4K with new extras and the whole nine is so overdue. Now this movie got a Blu-ray a few years ago, but it's not nearly enough. We're talking about a tremendous motion picture here. A movie so powerful, so moving, so impactful. A movie that will change your life. It deserves, forget about a 4K. We're talking 8, 16, 24K. Of course, I'm talking about the force of nature known as LA AIDS Jabber. Just imagine a beautiful limited edition release for this that comes with a syringe inside, loaded with dirty red liquid. There are a few others, but for the sake of time, I'll end it there. I may do a part 2, so share with me your wish list of movies that you hope get a new physical media release this year. And let me know your thoughts on my 2025 physical media wish list down in the comments section below. If you like this video, please leave it a thumbs up and share it on social media. If you're not following me on social media, those links are in the description. As always, thank you so much for watching. I really appreciate it. Take care, and until next time, peace. A huge thank you to all my patrons and channel members for your generosity and support. Become a patron today and get early access to videos, have a say in what content appears on my channel, join me for monthly live streams, exclusive watch parties, and more. Become a channel member today and get access to exclusive badges and emotes to use when I stream, as well as members-only watch parties. Both those links are in the description. Say hello to the internet, Jeremy.
Hello to the internet.